Right.
So we chased the guy for 160 days. He had millions of dollars. He went all over the world and finally ended up in Mexico. And still to this day, besides seeing my babies being born, I think it's the most exciting time in my life when I was in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and all of a sudden my son called me on the phone and said, "Dad, there he is." And I seen him and you're right, he's 6'3", 245, and I had, saw mug shots of him. I saw clips of him. I saw him surfing. I saw all these different views of Andrew Stewart Luster. His scrapbook when he was a kid. I saw everything, and then all of a sudden, to see the Predator right there in front of me, there he is. And my father was in the Navy, and has since passed away, and I could hear my dad say, "What are you waiting for?"
Mm-hmm.
And it just was unbelievable. The adrenaline was flowing, and there he was, 86 counts of rape, and boom, we got him. And we got thrown in jail in Mexico
Right.
for doing that. And then, 2 or 3 years later, we thought it was all over, and Mexico asked America to arrest us. So one night we had just got done filming a show where, on the show, one of my fugitives had committed suicide. So it was a very sad show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were all like, in that kind of mood. When you lose a fugitive, it's like one of your own, one of your kids. And I was very disappointed and very distraught about the guy committing suicide. And then early in the morning, the federal marshals came and arrested me for Mexico. So we were about the only ones in the country ever to be allowed a bail bond. And thank God the federal judge, said, "Well, look at this guy, where can he go?" Right? And he granted me a bond. And a year later, Mexico, the head judges in Mexico, they used to say you could buy your way out. Well, believe me, not anymore. So the head judges in Mexico all got together, read the case, saw the 86 rape, and said, don't come do it again, but we're going to give you one more chance. We're going to forgive you. And about 4 months ago, Mexico dropped all charges because we were looking at doing 4 years in a Mexican prison, which is not. Any prison for a bounty hunter is not good, but Mexico,
you don't want to be there.
Indian, I still would have been in trouble.
Well, I'm glad to know that, Duane, because I wasn't for sure how the resolution of that went. It seemed for a while that Mexico just wanted you hot and heavy to grab you back, and I was going to tell you could hide at my house if those federales wanted you, because you've got support. Kansas is dog country down here, and you should have got a ticker tape parade for catching this scumbag, and instead it seemed like you were given hassles and red tape. And I was hopeful that government officials here would talk to Mexico and say, "Look, dog did something we should have done." And
right.
But I'm glad there's resolution.
No, they didn't. The officials here turned their back on us.
That's
because they couldn't catch him. So they're like, you should have known better. And I tried to tell them here. I said, wait a minute, 86 counts of rape. Sorry, we can't do that. So, but thank God for Mexico and the morality. Mexico is predominantly a Catholic society. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we got like thousands of rapists from America and bank robbers and criminals down in Mexico. So the people in Mexico are very, even though it's another country, they're a lot like we are.
Right.
And they don't appreciate rapists living next door to them when they got to walk their kids to school. So the people in Mexico got together and went to their government and said, we don't like that he did this because, you're not supposed to bounty hunt in Mexico. But the better of two evils. What are you going to do when this guy's down here has raped 86 has 86 counts of rape in America? And we, in his motel room, they found Luster's hotel room. The cops searched it after we all got arrested. They found a video recorder. They found handcuffs. They found GHB, the liquid drug. So he was doing the exact same thing that he was doing in America, in Mexico. So, and the mothers, the fathers, the sisters, the brothers all got together and said, this could have been one of our family, set the dog free, and thank God and it took 4 judges. They voted 4-0 to drop charges. So it's very, it's a miracle. You know what I mean?
Well, it sounds
thank
like
God.
They came to their senses and saw that these predators are going to prey on whatever population they're in, and like you say, it's
exactly
like
right.
breathing for them, unfortunately. and that's why they have to be taken out of the general population. And, Duane, here in Kansas, a lot of our folks deal with the drug methamphetamines. That's one of the drugs.
I was just going to ask you a question. I was just going there.
Really? Well,
is it taking over Kansas like it is everywhere else?
It's been a real problem, and I was on the drug task force for 5 years, and I did the surveillance and the undercover buys. I did the high-risk warrant entries, and we dealt with that. We saw how it affected the lives of people, how it turned good people into dangerous people. And I wasn't. You guys deal with? Is it ice? Is that the drug that gives?
Yeah, ice is exact. Well, it's the same what you guys deal with. You guys, it's no. I mean, it's a little bit more pure, but it does exact. It does maybe it does it faster than it does than your speed. But it's methamphetamine in the purest form. It came from the Orient, from Korea, and we're close to Korea here, so. But it's all over now. Ice is. I just did an arrest in Denver. The guy had ice on him. But I don't know how old you are, Paul. But when I'm going to assume, in your 40s maybe, because he was chief of police. But in our day, they would say don't take LSD because you're going to freak out and jump off a building.
Right.
And some people did do that. You know what I mean? I mean, some did. Weak-minded people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Took the pill. Or mushrooms, and they drove their car off a cliff and blah, blah, blah. And, yet a lot of us, and I include me in the 60s, tried it and just tripped, you know what I mean? Well, I didn't try to jump off a building. I, freaked out and hid in the closet, right?
Yeah.
So, but that, those were stories that our parents told us. And, I don't want kids or younger people to think that's the same thing about methamphetamine, is that, they're just saying that so we don't do it. Just like you said, methamphetamine kills. I mean, alcohol changes your personality. Cocaine, they kind of, hide away, and it's used for, as they say, sex.
Mm-hmm.
Pot is now medical. Hallucinogenics are just that. You hallucinate. But this methamphetamine is one of the cheapest drugs that you can buy because it's, battery acid is used to make it. No, you know that, brother.
Right.
And Drano and some of the things that if you drink straight will kill you. Like I said, a lot of people, I think, don't really realize the danger of meth, and hopefully the show, Dog the Bounty Hunter, will show that this is not the drug like it used to be in the 60s or 70s. This drug in the year 2000, this methamphetamine, is a stone-cold killer.
Right. Absolutely. And you go into these homes and you arrest these people and you see the family portraits on the wall. And like you said, Dog, you see the individual that you're arresting and you can't recognize them. They're a shadow of what they were before they got hooked on these drugs. And it's a sad thing, but we're fortunate to have the Bounty Hunter, and we are all excited to have Duane Dog Chapman, the Bounty Hunter, with his show that will be well, you're very welcome, and I mean it when I say it. The show, July 16th, folks, it's coming back out. Of course, our website will have the dog counter at www.ibbetsonusa.com, where we will count the days down until the new show is out. And Duane Dog Chapman, we really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to be a guest on the Conscience of Kansas radio program. I wish you the best of success in all that you do, and you're welcome back here anytime you would like.
Paul, I would surely like to meet you. I don't know why, but I just love cops. I didn't know you were a cop, brother, and plus you're a very nice guy. And my father was born in Nebraska, and when I was young, we used to go to Kansas all the time. So I appreciate you having me on your show, brah. I appreciate that, brah. I highly respect you. I love Kansas. Hopefully sometime next year we're going to do, coming to a town near you very soon. So hopefully we can get down that way. And I would like you to email me what you just said, because I want to watch your counter too, right?
Hey,
but thank you,
got it.
You're very complimentary. And you know what? Let me tell you this before you hang up. A lot of times when you're standing at the door, I wear these sunglasses that have a MP player in them, and I play like Born to Be Wild. You know how the boxer plays his song before he goes in?
Right.
Before he goes in, he does something to enthuse him. So I kind of do the same thing. I play different music. And I will be now thinking about you as we go. You know what I mean? I'll be thinking about some of those words that you told me as I go through that door. So
well,
thank you, Brother Paul, very much.
You're very welcome, and thank you. And Dog Chapman, you just have a wonderful day.
You too, brother. Aloha. Thank you.
Aloha. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just got done speaking to Duane Dog Chapman, the bounty hunter. His new show will be coming out July 16th on A&E. The replays of the older shows are going to start tomorrow, so it won't be a long wait till we will start listening and watching Duane Dog Chapman, the bounty hunter. What an interesting guy. What a kind fellow. He's just one of those likable people that it's hard not to get behind the dog. And like I say, Kansas is dog country. And so what a great interview.